And now we have some breaking news on that infrastructure bill. Late last night, there was a lone conservative Republican who refused to sign off on the $1.2 trillion bill, despite the fact that a lot of his colleagues and Republicans said it was okay. Tennessee Senator Bill Hagerty revealed that a CBO report showed less than half of the bill was paid for, contrary to the rhetoric coming from the bill's authors. And Senator Hagerty joins us now. Senator Hagerty, I got to give you an A+ on this, because we love somebody who's willing to fight against the odds, but the odds are against you. You have this handful of Republican senators who, for some reason, don't see this as a problem. The fact that more than half of the bill is not paid for, against which the bill's authors said. So how do you fight members of your own party who say this bill's okay?
Well, I certainly do see it as a problem, David, and the last thing I'm going to do is accelerate the process and make it easier for Chuck Schumer to shove this through, just so we can get to the $3.5 trillion totally partisan tax and spending spree that he's got in store for us. Each of my Republican colleagues is going to have to make their own decision. But I think what we've done is bought ourselves some time to actually dig in and understand what's happening and allow the American public to understand what's happening. You know, I was sent to the Senate by the people of Tennessee not to make things more convenient for Chuck Schumer, to expedite things as he wants to. I was sent there to protect the taxpayer's interest. Yes. And that's exactly what I want to do here.
Well, and standing on principle, again, that is a worthy fight. You have backbone, and not many people in politics do. Maybe it's because you're a first-termer. You haven't been corrupted yet by the institution. But even Senator Rand Paul, who's a libertarian from way back, his father was a great libertarian as well, he said it's time to wrap up the debate and get back home for the vacation. I mean, when you're up against Rand Paul because you're standing on good libertarian principles, it's tough.
Well, again, I knew I would have a tough job coming into the United States Senate. I saw the threat coming toward America from the socialist radical policies that the left are putting out. I realize now it's going to be lonely too. But I'm here to represent the people of Tennessee and to look after their best interest, and that's precisely what I intend to do.
Now, besides the fact that the bill is not paid for, and it bothered me, that phrase paid for, because it's paid for by us, by taxpayers, exactly. and we haven't signed off on it. What exactly in the bill do you object to?
Well, if you look at the bill, again, this initial infrastructure bill, it's been billed as infrastructure, but only about a quarter of it is what you or I would call infrastructure, David. I'm talking about roads, bridges, highways, things that actually have a return on investment for taxpayers. A large portion of this is what others call soft infrastructure, but it's really more government involvement, more distortion of the economy. And again, that's what's driving this into the deep, deep red. Again, we're talking over $250 billion. The bill itself, over 2,700 pages. A King James Bible is 1,300 pages, just to put it into perspective. This is crazy. They just opened the numbers up to us hours before Chuck Schumer then tries to push to expedite it, because he's got this $3.5 trillion package that's waiting on the back end. Again, he's trying to shove us in that direction. I'm not going to do anything to expedite his movement toward the transformation of America that Joe Biden has talked about.
So explain to us how it kind of greases the skids into those other $1 trillion spending plans.
Well, I think Chuck Schumer would have enjoyed passing this in the dark of night last night. That was the plan. That was the scheme, and move right into the $3.5 trillion package over the weekend, and hope that this is all, distorted by people's focus on what's happening with Governor Cuomo or mask mandates in restaurants in New York City, that he could slip this through, and in the process transform America and put the Green New Deal fully into motion. He's going to destroy the fossil fuel industry. More death taxes, more taxes on job creators, more personal taxes. They're going to kill capital investment in America, and they're going to shove more American jobs overseas. That's where we're headed. And someone needs to make this clear. This gives us the opportunity to have the conversation you are having right now for your viewers, and I want to continue talking about this.
Well, you only got 20 seconds, but what happens now, procedurally speaking, with the infrastructure bill?
We go back to Washington tomorrow. The floor of the Senate opens back up at noon, and I'll see where we go from there, see how many of my colleagues have thought about this, have dug into what the Congressional Budget Office numbers have revealed to us, and see if we can make some movement happen in a positive direction from our side. What I don't want to see is Chuck Schumer get a free pass to move right in again in the dead of night last night, and then move right into this $3.5 trillion bill that is so deeply concerning, I think, to most of America. And as they hear more and more about it, I think we're going to see a much broader resistance to what's about to happen.
Well, you remind me a little bit of Don Quixote, but I hope you're back battle, unlike his, is not a hopeless battle. I hope that you do get traction here. I know a lot of Americans are pulling for you, so stay with the fight. It's worth fighting for, Senator.
It's about principle, Dave. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Senator Hagerty.